Hi everyone. Today we're going to be looking at inequalities, our lesson number 6B, part 6, inequalities. And our objective is to write a mathematical inequality and graph a mathematical inequality. So just review some quick vocabulary. So you remember an expression is just a math phrase with no equal sign. An equation is a math phrase that has an equal sign. And our new one, an inequality, is a math phrase that contains one of these things. Let's review what those symbols mean. Remember this one is our greater than sign. If you remember the alligator eats a bigger number. When you have the little line underneath it, it means greater than or equal to. When it's points to the left, remember we held up our hands and we made our little less than with our left hand. That is our less than, and with the line underneath it, that is less than or equal to. And lastly, you may not be familiar with this one. This is our not equal to sign. So let's look at graphing inequalities. When we graph them, two important things to note. If the circle at the number is colored in, that means our inequality includes that number. If it's an open circle, it does not include that number. When the arrow points to the left, we are referring to all numbers smaller than the starting point. And if it points to the right, we're talking about all numbers larger than that number. So here is an equality with a variable, and we're saying y, or our number here, is smaller than 3. So we want to graph y is smaller than 3. Now when you're graphing number lines, you don't have to write every single number on it. What I usually do is let's just write the number 3 on here. And maybe include one number that's larger than 3. Try to space them relatively close together. I mean, not close together, equally spaced, so it makes sense. And my next one should be one number less than the number we're talking about. We're talking about 2 here. That's kind of a bad 2, but you know what I mean? Okay, so we're saying we want numbers, all numbers that are less than 3. We're saying what numbers would satisfy this inequality. So first we go to the number 3. And because it doesn't have the equal to sign, it does not include 3. In other words, 3 is not less than 3. So it does not include this number 3. So we will put an open circle at the number 3. And then we're saying, okay, we're talking numbers that are less than 3. So there are numbers that go this way. I'm going to just make it a squiggly line a little bit so you can see it. And then I put my arrow on the end because it keeps going forever. So all the numbers this way from 3 are less than 3. So I could pick any number on the number line to the left of 3, like 2, and put it in here, and it would make it a true statement because 2 is less than 3. -5 is less than 3. Every number to the left of the 3 is less than 3. Now remember, this does not just include 2, 1, 0. I have right next to there, I could have a 2.999. That's still less than 3. Every number to the left of 3. Let's look at another example. What are some numbers that are less than or equal to 8? Again, I'm going to make a line at 8, add one at 9, put one at 7. I mean, I could write more numbers in, but I don't need to, so, that's just more work. So I'm going to do my line a different color this time, so maybe it's easier to see. I'm saying, what are my numbers that are less than or equal to 8? Well, if I put an 8 here, is 8 less than or equal to 8? Yeah, it's equal to it. So it does include it, which means I want the colored in circle this time because it includes the 8. Which way are my numbers that are less than 8? They go this way. Notice I'm not writing my line above my number line. I write it right on it. So if you have to make it squiggly for it to show up, that is just fine. But you don't want to be doing that thing that some students do where they draw it up and draw the line this way. I want it right on the number line. So all the numbers from 8 and to the left are less than 8. So if I asked you, is 5 a solution to this inequality? That's saying, is 5 on this side of the number line from 8? Yeah, it's a solution. 3 is a solution. 1 is a solution. All of those are solutions to this inequality. Let's do this last one. M is greater than or equal to -7. I'm going to start with my -7. If I said, what's one bigger than -7? Is it -8? No, one bigger than -7 is -6. One smaller than -7 is -8. I probably should space those a little bit better, but okay, I have greater than or equal to. So I have the line under there, which means it includes the number -7. And so I'm going to color in my circle. Which way are numbers that are bigger than -7? Well, they go this direction. So what are some possible solutions to this inequality? Well, -6 is. -6 is a solution. 0, if I kept going on this number line, I have -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So 0 would be a solution to this inequality. -2 would be a solution to this inequality. 4 would be a solution to this inequality. But -8 would not be. -8's over here. Not, if I followed this arrow forever, I would not hit -8. -8 is not a solution. Why don't you take a quick little break and do IXL AA1 for just a couple minutes. Get a feel for what I mean by solution to an inequality. When you come back, we'll take a few more notes. So welcome back. Now we're going to practice writing solution to an inequality graph. When you write these, it's always just a good idea to put your variable on the left. That helps you think about things a little bit clearer. Then go to the number we're talking about. My circle's at the number -1. So I have x and -1. Am I talking about numbers that are bigger or smaller than -1? Are these solutions bigger or smaller than -1? Well, they are greater than -1. So, oops, sorry about that. I didn't mean to write that little bit of squiggle there. I'm going to try to get rid of that. So we have x is greater than -1. I'm going to show you something kind of cool. As long as my variable is on the left side of my inequality, notice this arrowhead here. Notice that it kind of makes a greater than sign. So if my arrow is going this direction, it's a greater than. As long as my variable's on the left side of my inequality. Okay, let's look at this next one. I'm going to put my x, and this time I have a 2. Notice it's a colored in circle, which means I am going to have the or equal to. Now, are these numbers that are solutions, 1, 0, -1, are they bigger or smaller than 2? They're smaller, right? They're less than 2. Now notice again, the arrowhead for my less than looks a lot like that less than sign. That helps you write them. So in this case, x is less than or equal to 2. Every number that is less than or equal to 2 will be a solution to this line. One more. I'm going to put my X, and I'm starting at 0. Do I have the or equal to sign? Nope, because my circle's not filled in. Are these numbers bigger or smaller than 0? They're less than 0. Again, you can see that arrowhead right there makes a nice less than sign. So all the numbers less than 0 are a solution to this inequality. That is it for today. Your homework is IXL AA2 and AA3. Try to get them both to a SMART score of 80. That is it for today. Talk to you soon.